And I'm going to take this debris tracker and put it on here one more time. The debris kind of down early from what it was earlier, so probably at least a spin up. I think we have had a tornado here, and it's just on the south side of the river as it approaches Green Cove and just to the west of the Whitesburg Bridge. We've got Wilson Road in here. There's probably debris in the air flying from this tornado that has touched down just to the west of Highway 231. This is going to be moving right over Ditto Landing the way it looks right now, and over Green Cove Road and continue to the east. Going to be real close here in Owens Crossroads. Going to kind of let this loop go just a little bit more, and then I'm going to put a storm track on here for you as we track this. Another surprise tornado here. So we've got north of Lacey Spring. This is moving pretty much northeast. Going to be close. I think it's moving at about 25, 30 miles an hour. Again, Gurley, you're in the path of this down the road. You're right at the end of the tornado warning, though. I will say that. And there is going to be some interaction with the mountain here as this moves forward. So once again, tornado warning, confirmed tornado in this storm moving into southeast Huntsville. It's going to stay south of I-565. Again, that's where they've got the warning. It goes up to Maysville on Highway 72 towards Gurley, Owens Crossroads. You are in this. Hampton Cove, you're in the warning as well. I think we're looking at a hallway storm, but again, we've had one tornado potentially that's already touched down, and this has definitely produced a tornado. That's a definite tornado debris signature northwest of Lacey's Spring. I think it was probably just off to the north of Alamosa Springs when it did touch down. We're kind of getting towards the time of day where it's going to be more difficult to see these as they move in. So I'm going to switch back over to storm relative velocity. Again, the radar having a very difficult time seeing this. And this is very unusual, I will say that we are getting tornadoes, and the velocity pattern just does not match up at all with it, and the radar, you just can't see much on radar at all. But I will say, as we zoom in here a little bit more, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to kind of rock this back and forth a little bit and give you a better idea. Again, southeast Huntsville, need to be seeking shelter. And see cloud rotation. Okay, so I'm going to go back in time, pause this. We're going to kind of go back here and try to figure out where that circulation pattern's coming from. And it looks to me as if it was near Alamosa Springs. I'm going to switch over to the debris tracker as well. And that's probably where we first started seeing that. And there it is right there. There's a very strong debris signature here. This is going to be out near Johnson Landing. So we've had a tornado touch down Johnson Landing Road and Cabbage Patch Road. This is just to the west of Lower Dry Creek Road here, just to the northwest of Highway 36. So strong debris signature there. And let me co-locate with that. It's going to be this area right here. So I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to track where this area in the reflectivity has basically moved to as we go through time. It's kind of moved off to the north, and there it is. So right now, this possible tornado is actually kind of spinning up north. I'm going to get back up here on the wall. But that's what it looks like to me. It's this area where we have this weak reflectivity gradient. We call it weak echo region. And I think the tornado is probably over here. I think it's kind of spinning and lifting north. So I would say anywhere down here, Ditto Landing to the north, Green Cove Road, and maybe back to the west, because they're behaving erratically here. So sometimes when you get these spin ups that come up, they can actually go north. And that's kind of what the polygon's covering. So this is going to be right down Green Cove Road. You got Bell Road, just on the southeast side of Redstone Arsenal here, Buxton Road, and this possible tornado, Lakeside Trail, and kind of a big looping road here, subdivision most likely here. I'll turn the radar off, and that's probably what we'll see. Yeah, so we've got a subdivision right around this lake here. That's where we likely have this possible tornado. And then we've got I forget the name of this business here. Is this Sanmina or SCI? Yeah. SCIC. So that's in that area as well. Turn the velocity back on. Again, velocity is really not much use here, but the actual radar is going to be. So let's take a look at the shear rate. And it's down, so it may be kind of spun back down. So debris signatures is really going to tell us what's going on with this storm, and it's kind of gone. So it looks like we've had a tornado touch down and maybe gone back up. So there it is. So the debris signature shows up. You see it here north of Alamosa Springs. So we've had a tornado touch down, thrown debris in the air, and it's maybe over with. But boy, it's kind of a nightmare for us meteorologists, and of course you at home too, the unexpected tornado warnings. And you wouldn't expect to see anything like that with this mess here we've got going on. So we've had a tornado touchdown northeast of Alamosa Springs. And I think the back edge of that, the area that did produce it, is now north of Ditto Landing. But based on what's happened, we're going to have to watch this area over here on the west side. This is on the south side of the Redstone Arsenal, just because of what just happened. It's back here on the back edge, and there's no sign here of rotation with this at all. Absolutely no sign. And this has just completely disappeared over here too. Let's reset the whole view here. So again, looks like we've probably had a brief touchdown of a tornado. We're going to have to look up here in Winchester. I'm going to go up here to Winchester here real quick too. North of Winchester. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something spinning up here. This is on the west side of Smith Lake. Storm relative velocity, yeah. So we may get a tornado spin up here on the west side of Smith Lake. This is going to be out Highway 64, just a heads up here. This definitely is showing more rotation than what we had earlier. Let me take a look at the debris signature up here, see if anything's showing up. Nothing yet. But I would be taking precautions up here west of Winchester. This is at far eastern Lincoln County, where you do have a severe thunderstorm warning in progress. And again, no lightning with any of this activity. So you come down here into South Huntsville again, and you just don't see anything showing up. So it's like we had a quick tornado, probably maybe EF1, and then it's gone. And that's why the debris signature is so important. Let's see what's going on here. It may, you see how it kind of skipped, but then it gets real contaminated, so to speak, in that area there. And the area that produced the tornado is now here near Green Cove and Ditto Landing. You get north of there, just south of Hobbs Road, Cheney Thompson Road, right along the Parkway. And again, it doesn't look like we have a tornado now, but there definitely was. So shear rate once again. I'm going to back over there and check with the Weather Service again real quick. So I'm going to switch that back to radar. Again, be staying in your hallway here in South Huntsville, especially southeast Huntsville. You get north of downtown and there's no problem here. Madison, there's no issue. Triana, this is all east of you, and it's mainly the southern fringes of the Marshall Space Flight Center. Mm-hmm. All right. According to Weather Service, rotation has broadened and the tornado debris signature is gone. Circulation still along the river. So again, that's right along the river there, but definitely a strong tornado debris signature. Here's the latest on the tornado warning. At 8:28, currently 8:29, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Redstone Arsenal. It's only moving northeast at 15 miles per hour, so very slow movement here. Again, go on to say it's a dangerous storm, of course. What we're looking at is it's possible the tornado is no longer on the ground, but it definitely was. So this is a real challenge here. You know what, Liz?
Yes.
I'm going to open up my Facebook page.
It's being monitored.
Okay.
But you can definitely do it, open it up for me. And yeah, while we're at it, I did get confirmation from Marshall Space Flight Center about the damage there. There is storm damage, no one injured. Building 4604 was damaged. This is a disposal building that Marshall utilizes. So there is confirmed damage on Redstone, specifically at the Marshall Space Flight Center. I'm waiting for more details.
I think
again,
the same
no
thing
interest.
happened there. I think the tornado briefly touched down and was gone, and then boy, a very, very strange atmosphere, and it's been strange all month, to be honest. So we'll continue to watch this area. The tornado warning continues. They're no longer going with the confirmed tag on the tornado because it's hard to confirm. It's not there anymore, and most likely not there, but could spin up again at a moment's notice. This is going to be northwest of Lacey's Spring right now. We're looking at that area. I think the storm that produced the tornado, well, the area is pretty much right here, moving north of Ditto Landing, again moving at 15 miles an hour. But we are going to have to watch this area out here. The main reason I would be concerned with that is because it's the far western area, and it's going to have more of this westerly wind component moving into the back side of it. So again, debris tracker no longer showing signs of debris, and you can see where it was right there. So again, north of Alamosa Springs earlier, and it moved right through Lower Dry Creek Road, and at this intersection. So if we got a crew that wants to go somewhere, Johnson Landing Road and Cabbage Patch Road. This is going to be south. You go down south across the Whitesburg Bridge. You go off Highway 36 west of Lacey's Spring, and that's where you're going to find tornado damage. Hopefully everyone's all right. Let's see. Pardon me. Let's see what we have that would have gotten hit over here. I'll turn that off. So there's probably we've got houses here. So this is what we're looking at. We've got homes, looks like maybe a farm. I think it's kind of blurry, but we've got some sort of a farm there on Cabbage Patch Road, and right at that intersection. So what's likely happened, the debris signature, what it does is this tornado touchdown hit one of these buildings or one of these structures, or these trees, and threw them in the air, and that's how the radar picked it up. It likely, since it happened, and let that go into motion again. Let me get back out here real quick. Again, we're looking at pixels that are covering a fairly large area, so it probably touched down somewhere around Toluca Road. Probably have some damage to homes here, and then that debris got lofted up Johnson Landing Road and started being detected up here in these areas. So we probably have homes damaged in this area here. And again, that's going to be, let me find Alamosa Springs on here. That is going to be roughly about 2.5 miles north of Alamosa Springs. Again, confirmed tornado on radar. We have not got reports from Morgan County yet of damage. I'm sure they're going to be assessing that out there and to find out what's going on in that area, and maybe assisting, maybe emergency crews en route there as well. Again, that's where we've had a tornado touch down. Still trying to see if we got anything new forming here. There's still an area of concern. Near Green, man, this is just moving so slow. I mentioned Green Cove Road so many times. So these are the areas, if we get a tornado to touch down, it will be unexpected, not showing up on radar right now. But it's going to be Hobbs Road, Bell Road, right on Memorial Parkway. And you get Bailey Cove Road where it kind of turns and goes due north. It's from that area, it goes due north to Memorial Parkway over to Hobbs Road. There's not much rotation, but that's it. That would definitely be it. So again, these areas here, pretty much right at Green Cove Road and the Parkway is where we're concerned with that possibility that there's a tornado there, or there could be one. It's probably rotating. Again, it's rotating very, very low to the ground, and that's the challenge with the Doppler radar. It can't see all the way to the ground, and that's one of the consequences of having so much water in the air. Let's check the debris signature, see if we're getting anything there. No, nothing right now. And you see this blue to the north, and that's contaminated data. There's really nothing to that. But where we kind of concentrate on the shear rate, and this is a real good product to have. This is from Barron Services here in town. It can kind of go through some of it analyzes it for us as well, because it just doesn't look like there's a lot of rotation here. You've got a little bit away, a little bit towards. So then you get the shear rate. Once again, I'll put that back on. So I'd be staying in your shelters here in South Huntsville, especially. You get Hobbs Road, Bell Road, Green Cove Road, over to Bailey Cove Road. It's moving northeast at 15 miles an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and put a storm track on this here. So this is going to be the area we're concerned with. We're gonna move this at roughly, we'll move it at about 11 miles an hour. I think it's maybe moving slower than 15, but this area is starting to kind of weaken a little bit.
Brad, you might want to walk over here while you're doing that, because we have verbal permission to use this right now, but I want you to see it. Our news director is monitoring your Facebook page. That's Valormosa Springs.
Okay, yeah, that would have been, pardon me, that would have been the area. Is there damage there in this photo? No, just really, just a dark black sky.
Mm-hmm. And look at the next one underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, just a black sky out
Ominous.
there. Somebody's asking, in Decatur, are we okay? Yeah, Decatur, you guys are okay. Let me check the chat here real quick. We haven't received any calls in reference to possible damage on the Morgan County side. So that's Morgan County 911. But there has to be some kind of damage for the Doppler radar to pick that up.
But isn't that such low-lying area right there by the river?
Yeah, it is, but you zoom in, and of course the radar isn't going to be spot on as far as where that actual debris is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the debris here, and I'm going to go back into that same area. I'm just going to click debris. Now we got, there may be some debris starting to show up here near Lacey's Spring. Again, it's really going to be hard. Yeah, there's nothing there though. Nothing on the radar. See, that's the tricky part of this, is timing it out. I don't think this is real debris showing up here in Lacey's Spring. But what is going to be this area right there. So we first started picking up this debris on the radar. This is 807. Again, we've got Johnson Landing here, Cabbage Patch Road. So it's likely we had something touch down near Toluca Road, and by the time the debris gets picked up by the radar, it's down the road. So I don't necessarily know. Again, we don't have any reports yet, but there will likely there's tornado damage somewhere within this little triangle here. I'm highly sure of that. And we kind of go back down in here and take a look at what's been hit, what could possibly have been hit. And you get down here, and we got a few homes. But then again, it's possible the tornado may have touched down here in all these trees. And trees were lofted, and the leaves from those trees were lofted. That's the other thing, is the leaves covered in rain will show up in a debris signature too. But we probably there's damage. At some point there's damage here, but we just don't know if homes were hit or not. So again, we don't want to assume that. And this was the part of the storm right here that produced it. This little area right here that moved across the Tennessee River. So let's put this into motion and see where that area is now. Basically came here and it moved north, so it's been completely absorbed. We have just a different area coming in now. So we've got this area back here just to the west of Ditto Landing and south of Marshall Space Flight Center. I believe that's going to be Patton Road. Redstone Road, Patton Road, but we don't have any shear showing up here. So yeah, all indications are we probably do not have a tornado on the ground now. The area we were watching has disappeared. So there's some good news there. So again, if you're concerned there, but let's continue to expand the view here and let's see what's going on elsewhere. Things have happened fairly rapidly out there. Up here into what? Yeah, we got that tornado warning now up here near Estill Springs. Again, this is out of our viewing area. I'll extend this coverage though. Estill Springs, possible tornado. With that storm, you can kind of see this area to the north. And again, that's another one that, boom, spin up. It's gone. Wow. I mean, it's almost like it touches down and then it's over. Let's put that into motion, see if that picked it up at all. Nope, not much up there. Get out. I know this is confusing for a lot, but so I won't stay there very long. But not seeing any other circulations here. And the radar, let's just kind of do a radar tour here. Out in Harvest, heavy rain, very heavy rain. Again, there's a lot of low-lying clouds out here too. And we've got just south of Fayetteville. This is near Bellevue. I'm suspect of any of these areas that have just a little bit of this appendage to it up here towards Bellevue. We'll have to watch that. Again, everything's hiding under the radar beam right now. And take a look at the debris signature. That's not going to be accurate here. So again, what we'd look for is something like this in the middle of all of this. That's north of Hazel Green. Absolutely no lightning whatsoever. So Hazel Green, all up the Parkway 231, heavy rain out here in Harvest. Get west of Sparkman High School, down towards Capshaw and Magnolia Springs, just some heavy rain there. Debris track. I'm just going to keep looking at the debris because that's the only thing that's really showed us that and the shear rate. Not seeing anything out there. So let's just back this up with the shear rate only. I'll have to go back here in Jackson County here in a second. But you can see it kind of lights up here just south on the southwest and western side of Timms Ford Lake. So let's go in here into northwest of Scottsboro. It's going to be south of Skyline, east of Pleasant Groves. We're a lot closer to the radar. That area kind of flaring up a little bit. Velocity, yeah, there's just a subtle change, but I think it's picking up more. Just the fact we probably have a downdraft here with that developing shower. And the debris signature not showing anything there. But again, we'll continue to watch that. That's northwest of Scottsboro. Again, I can't tell you what a challenge it is. Usually we have really good radar information, but everything's under the radar beam because there's not a lot of wind shear up in the air. Most of the wind shear must be way down at the surface, and that's what's creating the issues out here. Looks like they just let that tornado warning go. So once again, I'm going to go check the board here, and then we're probably going to get you back to regular scheduled program. And hopefully this is over. But of course, if it's not, we'll get right back on. Okay. Again, no injuries reported so far. Canceled. The rotation has just disappeared. They continue the warning up in Franklin County. So once again, let's let this update one more time. We don't really need any more surprises, do we? What we're watching as we go into the rest of the evening, we've got this line of showers. That's showers is all it is, no lightning at all. That's moving east. We've got the tornado warned storm near Tullahoma. We've got some strong winds here west of Winchester. But other than that, we don't really have anything else going on out here. We've got, again, the velocity. We've got heavy rain out in Harvest, moving down 53. Let's go down here to Owens Crossroads again. I'm going to do that shear rate again. That one seems to be doing the best job. And nothing. Everything's quieted down. So again, that's an artifact. That's not accurate data. But again, looks like we've had possibly 2 tornadoes this evening, one on the Arsenal, confirmed damage there. Another one north, about 2 miles north of Alamosa Springs. We're still waiting to get information there. We do not have a watch in effect. We do not expect this to continue. So we'll continue to be here monitoring it, and if severe weather breaks back out, we will break in. I would just monitor, have your weather radio ready. Again, this is another importance of weather radio and having our 48 First Alert weather app. This line of showers and storms should be out of here by about 9, 10 o'clock to actually about 10, 10:30 tonight. So again, we'll continue to monitor it here. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Thank you.
I don't know if you wanted me. I just was going to tell you what I've been able to find out and plead for anybody in Alamosa Springs to call us.
Yeah, it's north of there. Man, what a wild. I'm like, what?
Here, I'm glad you came to get me.